There are more people in the world now than there have ever been in the past before. Let me repeat that. There are more people in the world right now, today, than there have ever been before. What that means to me is that we need leaders. When I say we need leaders, I mean people who are able to guide. One thing I've noticed from the best of leaders is that they're able to take a whole team and not just say that I did it, but that we did it. When I was in ROTC, which is pretty much Reserve Officers Training Corps, which is practically, to make it very simple, it's pretty much where military organizations try to make institutions within schools. I'm in the Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Course. Anyhow, when I was in ROTC, I noticed that the best leaders, they were the ones that were able to inspire and motivate. They weren't the ones who were the most knowledgeable, the ones that had the most erudition. They weren't the ones that were most physically fit. None of that even matters. How I know this is because even when I was in a boot camp, I actually performed, and I was very afraid. The truth is, courage is the triumph over fear, not the complete absence of it. There's no such thing. Regardless, when I was a cabin leader, I had much fear. And it wasn't because I doubted my ability, it's just I didn't know how to be a leader. I never did. But as Mrs. Barbara Brooks mentioned, it's about having faith in your ability. The truth is, everybody has these resources deep within them. Their latent ability, whether they realize it or not, if they can tap into it, if only they could detect them. There's so many people who don't detect these resources, and they plod along in mediocrity, never realizing their whole life, they could have been something better than what they are right now. All these people, think about it, 7 billion people in the world. Do half of them even realize the potential that they have? That's a very shocking reality. Regardless, one thing I realize in leadership is that it's not just about the leaders. It's also about the subordinates too, the people who you are working with. I realized it because I knew a friend who actually was in ROTC, who was the wing commander, which is pretty much the person who's above everyone else, if you want to say. And he was a jerk, right? He gave me the highest scores in tests. He practically is a nuclear engineer. But you know something that he lost? He lost the hearts of the people. Regardless, he's off, he's making all this money, but it doesn't even matter. Money you can gain and lose, but time you can never get back. Time lost never returns. The influence you make on people today can last forever. Think about it. Who inspired Martin Luther King? Who inspired all these great speakers? I mean, I could say names, but it's about who you think is good. Pretty much the point of this is that your influence can last forever. It can be longer than you think it is. It can extend past yourself. And that's how you revolutionize yourself and others. When you help others, you're also helping yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. As a leader, I learned that. I learned that when I help others, I learned something new myself. Even in RCC, when I was the leader, it wasn't just about leading these people and saying, okay, you're going to do this and we're going to do that. It was through learning about other people too. It was to learn what their strengths were, what their weaknesses, brilliance, to be able to see past what normal people see. You have to see what everyone's good at. Everyone has one good thing about them. The way I look at it, everyone has one good story. Every single person here could tell me one good story about them, and I will remember it forever. Right? But the truth is, when I was going back to saying that people get lost, they don't find, they just keep going over and over in life, plodding along in mediocrity. The truth is, the greatest desert in the world is not the Sahara Desert. It's a person's mind. Get lost in there. Fear, worry, anxiety, and timidity. I mentioned this in another speech, that fear, there's not too much reason to fear. The truth is, you're better off when you're trying. Trying to be better automatically makes you better. Okay? It's as simple as that. Public speaking. When I was young, I would never imagine myself doing what I am right now. An impromptu speech. This is impromptu speaking. I would have never gotten here had I not tried. If I had not ventured on. Everything requires risk. Even the most secure monetary investments have great risk. Okay? Even the most secure investments you make in life have risk. And people lose a lot. Everyone struggles. Right? But it's not about how much you've been through. It's about how much you can get past it, how strong you are to be resilient. You'll often notice the greatest of people had great setbacks. Everyone has setbacks. How you deal with them is obviously according to you. But the truth is, you have the ability to deal with it resplendently. You have the ability to become the best you are. Every single moment given to you gives you the opportunity to become better than what you are before. Let me repeat that. Every single moment you have gives you the opportunity to become better than who you are. With that, I just want to conclude with one message. If you don't take anything from this speech so far, take at least this one thing. Right? I mean, I don't know about life. I'm not a Buddha. I don't know the secrets about life. One thing I do know is that it's limited. As I mentioned before, time is very limited for us. We don't have a lot of time on this world. How much money I make doesn't matter. I mean, it can help me. What does matter is us, the individuals. And if you're able to influence someone, you're literally able to change the world, even if it's one single person. That one single person, whether it be your child, whether it be your husband, whether it be just some random person on the street. One single person. That's all it takes to change the whole entire world, and even your own life yourself. So main thing I'm trying to say, be the best that you can. Always look at the brilliance of new things. Look at problems as ways to endeavor to become better than who you are. But even influencing one person is so powerful, right? With that, I conclude.